Hello everybody and welcome to the League of Europe channel. We are back again on a Monday night for more Formula 2 action. Season 6 in the sole division we have now. We're on round 4 at the Sake International. Is it the no? I can't remember. It's called the. I think it's called the Bahrain International. We're in Bahrain at the Sake circuit. And which is very good for these cars, very interesting for these cars. Always brings up a good race. I'll just go through the standings really. Last week Nathan extended his championship lead by a single point. And he is now on 119. Campbell on 100. So the gap is 19 after 3 rounds of this. Verstappen on 97, so not far back at all either. In third place, Rocco in fourth on 89, Toxic in fifth on 70, but he will not be adding to any today because I'm pretty sure he said he is not able to race tonight. I think he said he had tonsillitis or something like that. Wish him well. Hope he gets better. But it doesn't mean he will not be racing tonight. The reigning champion is not here. Larkin is 6th on 64. Lars 7th on 48. B. Morgan 8th on 43. Tied with Darry. I think he's ahead on... I don't know why he's... It's countback could be something there. And then 10th place is Eisen on 33. And then the constructors, High Tech are kind of running away with this point. 152 points compared to UNI Virtuosi in second on 121. Dams have 101. Chevrolet's 96. And Trident on 91. That's where it starts to tighten up in that midfield. So currently we've got 14. I think a few drivers have been caught out. By copying on the latest update, so we might be missing some. I think the two, it's Dirt Tim and Alex, who are teammates. I can't remember what car they're in. Let me just find out. They are in the Campos. They are stuck with percentage. I think Alex has got to 71%. I don't know about Dirt Tim yet. And another one we're waiting for is Eisen as well. And obviously, it's 1 minute past, so we're just on the final couple of people trying to get in. We're at Bahrain. It's set, even though F2 normally races in the day in Bahrain, it has been set to midnight. So I wasn't expecting it to be set to midnight, but it has been set to midnight. Bahrain always looks really nice under the lights anyway. Now I'm gonna go back and check the last season. Even though it's a different game, the cars are still pretty similar. We will check Bahrain. I think we did Bahrain last season. It might have been the last race. If I can get across, it was. And the feature race was won by Campbell, and the reverse race was won by Toxic. And I'm just trying to have a look. Nathan last season did not finish a single either of the races at Bahrain. I don't know, can't remember why. But yeah, that was it wasn't the best couple of races for him last season. So hopefully we get some. But last week was very, very entertaining once it got going. So obviously around a street track it is very difficult to get entertainment, but considering it was a street track, it was very, very good. But Bahrain is always 9 times out of 10 an absolute cracker in the F2 cars and on the F1 game in general. So hopefully we get a very, very good couple of races. One-shot qualifying. I have no idea who's going to get pole around here, but I do, for some reason, fancy either Campbell or Verstappen to take pole. One of the two. We'll have to wait and see if that comes to fruition. So we're on 15 drivers, and I think we might still be waiting for a few more people. So, as we're waiting, what can we do while we're waiting? We can have a look at... Obviously, we're at Bahrain this week, but next week we are at Zandvoort, in the Netherlands, which is an interesting track. It's a very good track to qualify on. Racing is a bit more difficult, but if anyone saw the F3 this weekend at Zandvoort in real life, it was very good. Actually, the racing was a lot better than many people I think would have thought. So, I have to watch that one for next week. From my personal experience, last game, Zandvoort was never great on a personal level. But for racing or anything, if you qualify badly, it's very difficult to get through. So, good qualifying is important there, kind of like Singapore. But it will be a very, very good one. The reverse grid sprint race should be very good at Zandvoort. And we are 5 minutes past now. We are just seeing what happens with some of these guys. We're at 15. If they can get in at some point during the session, I think. But Jordan's typing in the chat right now, so we might get the all clear. I'm not sure. Being 5 minutes late, I think he'll just want to get this on. No, he's he's still waiting for people to do their updates. What else can I do to fill in? So, obviously that is the F2 for next week at Zandvoort, but we do have the F1 side of things next week. Well, not next week. This Friday and Saturday. PC on Friday, PS4 on the Saturday, and I'm pretty sure we are going to Singapore, which Singapore is normally one of the better ones, and it's one of those where the weather gets quite well mixed up. So, if you're quick in the dry, you could be towards the back in the wet. So, it'll be a very interesting one to watch. And strategy is also still important. That although I think I don't know, the tyres might be completely different this year, in which ones you use at Singapore. But we are still waiting. I think Eisen's on his way. I have no idea about Dead Tim. And Alex has said don't wait, so he's on 84%. I think he might get in for the second race of today. Let me go back to this season standings. There we go. And I will just have I think Nolan is in for Toxic. So Nolan's back. I think it's his first race of this season. He's a reserve, I think, this season. He is in for Toxic tonight. So good to have him back. I'm just trying to look through the rest. Is there any other reserves that I can see? I don't know. I will quickly have a look. So I think Zedema was in. So he might be the other. Yeah, he must be the other reserve. He's in the session. He's in the ART, and I think he might be replacing Dark, ISRL Dark, who I think said is it him? I think he said he can't race tonight, and I will check this. Yes, it was Dark. So he's in for Dark in the ART. as they get ready for qualifying. I'm pretty sure I've got the... Yes, I have. I'm just checking the game sound. There we go. I didn't know if I had the game sound on. And we do. So let's get it going. We're going to go on board with Feral Fury because he is currently first. And I've only just noticed his helmet has a Irish flag on with some purple. It's very nice. He's done very well at the first couple of corners. The understeered a bit wide there. And we have B. Morgan, who has taken the early lead in this qualifying session. There we go. And Nolan towards the top as well, which things we like to see. The returning driver towards the top. As we go down the hill now into Sector 2 towards the turn 8 hairpin. And Nathan has got into the lead of this qualifying lap. Go on board with him in the high tech as we drop down into turn 10. We can't have double A, but it's 2 corners there, but very difficult cadence braking, but he's done very well as he brings down one of the DRS straights into another left-hander of turn 11. Up the hill now, left and right, up towards the sector splits. Is he going to be in first as they cross the sector split? Yes, he is. He does a purple middle sector. Very good job from Nathan in those. It's him versus Campbell versus Verstappen. 3 of the 4 championship top 4. Oh no, I'm completely wrong. Well, no, I'm not wrong on that. It's the top 3 actually, the exact top 3. And it is going to be Nathan across the line by some distance as well. Nearly, well, just over 6 tenths ahead of Campbell, who is the only man to drop into the 37, well, into the 37s by 1,000th of a second. And we have Nathan on pole, the championship leader on pole, second place man in the championship, second in on the grid, and Verstappen, who's third in the championship, is third, but a 7 tenths splitting the top 3 and a second splitting the top 4. Quite a big margin there. B. Morgan in 4th. Calvin just beats out Nolan for 5th, Nolan 6th. Larkin in 7th, Darry in 8th. Zidama coming in as a reserve, he is 9th. Good qualifying by him. Rocco in 10th. So I don't know what happened to Rocco, but that is quite far off the pace. He is... Have I still got the wrong... No, that is the right championship. Yeah, Rocco's 3rd in the championship. He is down in P10. Feral Fury is 11th. Jordan was 12th. And I think Ibo was 13th. I can have a look. Eisen was 14th. And I don't know who that leaves at the back. I think we had 15 or 16 drivers. So there's 2 on the back row. And it might be... I don't know. I don't know who is remaining. I can't remember now. We'll find out when we see the list on the side as they go out for their formation lap. Try and catch who was at the back for this one. I think there were quite a few people that invalidated their laps, so we'll have to see on that one as it's about to come up now. There you see Nolan on the front row. And it was Lars and James. Sorry, I forgot you two at the back. I didn't quite catch that on the end of qualifying screen. So I'm just curious about something. This is the number 3 car of Joe, and is Jordan in the number 4 car this week? No, it still says number 3. So the numbers are clearly wrong here. Don't know what Codemasters have done, but apparently both teammates now have the same number on the front of the car. So that's an intriguing one. It wasn't like that last year. Actually, if I can just check with Eisen, has he got the number 24? He's got the number 24 in his car. So yeah, don't know what happened there, but as we get through this formation lap. It is the 3 you would expect at the front without Toxic here, and Alex has managed to join. I think he won't be able to race in this race as they've already got underway for the formation lap. but he should be able to start right from the back in 17th place in the sprint race. Good job he got in the end. And I think it might just be Tim who's not in the session currently. I don't know how far through he is, but he is not in the session. As we wait for these guys to get through the first two sectors, Nathan taking the interesting line for the exit of turn 13. Well, with the entry to turn 13 actually. Very interesting line through there. As they make their way down the back straight. Doing some burnouts on their medium. I think is it the mediums? Let's actually confirm this. Yes, the mediums and the hard are the two compound of tyres. So Larkin and Dari and Rocco in the top 10 have decided, the only three in the grid that decided to go on the hards, and Nathan has spun it on the final corner on his formation, and he's joined by Eisen there. That's quite a heavy hit. I'm pretty sure you can't get damage on a formation lap, but that is a very interesting way to start this one, with two cars spinning at the final corner before we've even started the race. Nathan might have to watch that because his tyres, well, they should cool down in time as they line up on the grid. Nathan might be the last one to get there. Maybe there's one car at the back, who knows. As we are now just waiting for the countdown. I think it's about to come now. Here we are. 3, 4, 5 red lights. And away we go for the feature race here in Bahrain. Very good start from Nathan, actually, after that spin on the formation lap. Rocco's made a good start, up 2 positions. As B. Morgan goes for a dive up the inside of Campbell. Manages to stick it through and actually manages to take the position. And now Campbell's going to be under threat from Verstappen in the dams. Can Verstappen do anything round the outside of turn 4? He's going to go for it, but is Campbell going to give him the space? No, he's not. There's yellow flags, and that is Ibo at the back of the field, and I think James is there with him as well. As we look behind, Calvin getting the elbows out with Nolan. Nolan still keeping it up the inside, and I think he might get this position now. Very good move from the returning reserve driver, taking the place of the reigning champion. Very good move into turn 8 there, as Nathan has already got a second lead. That move from B. Morgan has really helped him out. As you can see, the field was very spread out in qualifying, and he's just been able to make a massive break for it anyway. Rocco still in 8th position. He's going to be looking to move up on the hard compound tyres. Playing the long game in this race, but loses the back end slightly, goes very wide. And is he going to get overtaken around the outside by Farrell Fury? No, he's not. Farrell Fury is going to get hung out to dry, really, but he's got the tyre advantage. Can he get a move done as we head towards the start of the second lap and to the pit straight yet again? He's still right on the back of Rocco. Rocco starting to move forward as Nathan crosses the line, and oh no, something's happened to... No, it hasn't. I love this game. We have the timing glitch again, as Campbell and B. Morgan are side by side. Campbell has to stay behind yet again. B. Morgan in 2nd place, ignore Codemasters. As here comes Campbell. Is he going to dive it up the inside into turn 4? Yes, he is. He goes for it. B. Morgan's going to hang it all the way round the outside. And there's contact. There's contact. That is big contact. Is that B. Morgan out of the race? Is he still in the race after all of that? Massive contact. I'm surprised it's not a safety car. Somehow he's avoided massive damage. It's the end plate lost on the left-hand side of that car, as I think just the converging lines at the exit of turn 4. Campbell it was on the inside, took a closer line, as Farrell Fury's, something's happened to him. He's in the wall on the inside of turn 10. Don't know what's happened there, but he was behind Rocco. But with B. Morgan, I think, just took a wider line. Maybe lost it on the exit of the corner. And and because of that, Campbell kind of had nowhere to go, and B. Morgan was spun around. Verstappen right on the back of Campbell. They won't have DRS down the pit straight, but they will into the straight into turn 4. So Verstappen setting this one up. It's a long race, but Nathan has just gone. Nolan is in P4 here now. Very good start for him. Got past Calvin. Managed to not get anywhere near the B. Morgan incident. And has managed to get himself, I think, in DRS range of these guys. So, actually, maybe... Yeah, no, he is. He's in DRS range. So, Nolan has dragged himself into the battle for second place. As Verstappen goes up the inside, there's more yellow flags. That is Lars round at the back of the field. He's out of the exit of turn 2. And he is round. No one into the pits yet. B. Morgan is surviving out. Campbell has managed to get back through. Sorry for missing that, guys. As Lars spun. Campbell has managed to get back through on Verstappen. But oh, that's someone very deep. That's Nolan in the background. He's going to be passed by Calvin. He just went very, very, very deep into turn 10. They're going to slipstream him down to turn 11. Is he going to try around the outside? He is. Can he get this move done? Calvin's still there on the inside. They're side by side as they're coming up the hill now. Is he going to keep his foot in? He does, and Calvin manages to go all the way around the outside and maintain that P4 after Nolan went deep. But he's going to get him now, surely. Nolan is there side by side. Is he going to think about DRS? Maybe, I'm not sure. Who's going to get DRS into the final... Well, out of the final corner, who's going to get it? I think it might have been... It might have been Calvin that got it, but Larkin is here in this battle as they're going to start battling for P2 again. Verstappen side by side with Campbell, and I think ahead now, but Larkin going side by side with all of these guys on the hard compound tyre. Calvin just manages to stay ahead. Larkin's still there on his outside. Nolan's still there on the inside, has lost out to both of these guys on the last couple of laps. As Pharrell Fury gets passed by Jordan, and B. Morgan has finally decided to come into the pits to change that front wing. I think he had to wait to the end of lap 3 anyway, so to change onto the hard. So that was his plan, and he's going to run to the end of the race now. So a tough race beginning for him. The first couple of laps were the first lap was very strong, but then just unfortunately get a little tag by Campbell out of the exit of turn 4, and that's all his hard work undone. As Campbell on the back of Verstappen, these guys are just battling themselves. Nathan has pulled a 5-second gap on these guys. It's not even close. Here we go. Is Larkin going to send it into turn 11? No, he's not. He stays behind. On the hard compound tyres, though, he is an outside shout. Potentially at the end of this race coming back and getting a podium with the fresh mediums. We'll have to wait and see on that one. But he's going to get the drive out of turn 13 to follow Calvin down the back straight towards the final corner. And there are more yellow flags. That is Durry at the exit of turn 13. That's a weird place to go off. Campbell has decided to box. Campbell's boxing early. Is he going to... He slowed it down in time, so he's gone for the undercut on these guys. Just got to hope he doesn't get caught in traffic as Larkin now side by side with Calvin on the hard compound tyres. Calvin's going to fight it around the outside, but I don't think he's going to have any space. Very nice move from Larkin up the inside of turn 1, but there is going to be potentially the slipstream down to turn 4 with Calvin following. He's not close enough to make that move. And Larkin up into P3 now, effectively P4 with Campbell just taking his pit stop. Nolan also decided to box that lap, so that is for the undercut on Calvin. And actually Rocco's not far behind this battle on the hard compound tyres as well. So these two, Rocco and Larkin, making good progress after starting, I think, 8th or 7th and 10th, I think Rocco was. Let's have a look, actually. Yeah, there we go. Larkin up from 7th and Rocco up from 10th. We have a penalty at the back, and that is Nolan, a 5-second speeding into the pit lane penalty. which might come back to haunt him at the end of this race. As you can see there, Calvin, no helmet, which is an interesting one. And there's a spinner at the pits. That is B. Morgan. His day is good. His day has just gone from bad to worse, honestly. Cannot catch a break in this race. As is Verstappen. We have Nathan in the lead. Is he going to come into the pits this lap? I think he might keep it out a bit longer, which he does. Is Verstappen going to take the jump? Yes, he is. He has to cover off Campbell. Is Campbell going to get the jump, though? He is behind Ibo. Ibo has let him go. So are we going to get... Oh, and Calvin, I think, has come into the pits as well. It's not come up on the side. It's not saying who's in the pits. But Calvin and Verstappen are both in the pits. And I think Zuderma and James have both followed them in. The 4 cars in the pit lane right now, as Rocco cannot get a move done. Zuderma in the pit lane. Where is Campbell? Campbell's gonna... Is he gonna jump Verstappen? No, Verstappen is well ahead of... Quite far ahead of him, actually. I thought it might be closer than that, but Campbell might have the DRS down, but he is a lot further back than I thought. I actually thought he might be able to jump him there. Come on, he's not even got DRS. Yeah, that's not gone the way Campbell would have wanted that to go at all. And he stays behind Verstappen after trying the undercut. It completely... Well, it just didn't work. He's in exactly the same position he was before. Actually, he might be... Well, he might be slightly... No, it's exactly the same position. I think he was around a second. And are we going to get Nathan coming into the pits this lap? No one's particularly close. I mean, Rocco's closed up to Larkin. I think these guys are going to go to about lap 10 or 11. And Nathan is going to stay out. Even though Nathan's pace is ridiculous, he could actually be quicker at this point on the old tyres than those guys on the newer tyres. As we have Rocco with the DRS charging down towards turn 1 on Larkin. Is he going to get this move done? He is up the inside. He's got it on the brakes. Larkin's not going to fight you back into turn 1. Very nice move from Rocco as Pharrell Fury gets past Eisen. But he goes off the track, and Larkin's going to get that position straight back. Rocco wide at turn 2 and loses the position straight away on the exit. Not good for him. He just got ahead, and that happens as Jordan has decided to box now. That's why those guys, it's still not coming up on the screen, but those Eisen and Jordan just dropped down a couple of places. They are in the pits. Campbell still right behind Verstappen. Well, the gap's still the same. Does he have DRS? No, he doesn't. It is... Yeah, that undercut just really didn't work for Campbell. And they are a good 20-something seconds back from... Well, maybe it's 30 seconds back. Let's have a look. Yeah, 39 seconds back from Nathan in the lead of this race. So they have... I think that unless Nathan makes a mistake, this race win seems almost in the bag at this point. Although Larkin and Rocco are saying have decent pace on the hard compound of tyres. Is Nathan going to come into the pits this time around? Yes, he does. So Nathan, the race leader, the championship leader, into the pits. And he's hoping he gets somewhere between Pharrell Fury and Verstappen. I think he should comfortably come out in between those two. But we'll have to see how long this pit stop is. As Verstappen... Yeah, the gap to Campbell's opened up even further now. Zuderma on the back of Eisen. Oh, there's yellow flag. That is Ibo out of the race. And that is a full course safety car on lap 7, which is not good for these guys that are on the hard compound tyres at all. Because that gap has just massively closed. They are in the lead of this race. They might... Can they make medium tyres go 9 laps? That is it. Well, it might be 8 laps. Yeah, I think it's 8 laps. It's just updated to 8. So, can they make mediums go 8 laps? I mean, Nathan just did 7. So they probably could. I think they're going to have to go into the pits this lap. They're going to have to do it. Campbell has decided to take the plunge and go in again. He's going to be well down the order. He's actually going to be 14th. Campbell takes the plunge and goes into the pits. And Lars has just had a 5-second penalty for a severe collision with Pharrell Fury. They are teammates. So I don't know what's happened there. Don't know if one of them's just slowed up or one of them's spun. I don't know if Pharrell got his 5-second penalty for exactly the same thing, or if that was for speeding into the pit lane. Nathan just got enough. Yeah, he's not going to be in the lead of this race, but his pace is so powerful. Well, so powerful. That's the wrong word. It's just so much quicker than everyone. Are these guys going to pit? Yes, they do. Both of them pit. They're going to go onto the medium compound tyres. Nathan will be third in the queue. Verstappen has decided to stay out. A lot of work to do for Campbell in 14th. I don't know if that's going to pay off for him in the end. But I'm pretty sure... Oh, are they going to have... Is he going to have the lead of this race? Is Larkin going to be in the lead of this race? Sorry for that. Are they actually going to get ahead of Nathan? Nathan is going to take the lead back. Nathan has taken the lead back. These guys are going to come out ahead of Verstappen, you would think. Whereas Verstappen on track, there he is, coming down the pit lane. Well, coming down the main straight, and they are both ahead of Verstappen. So Verstappen was second in this race. He's now fourth. Nathan still has the lead. His gap was just that much to these guys. They still kept the lead of this race. Obviously behind safety car now. Those guys are going to have fresher tyres. Nolan has also come to the pits. He gets rid of his 5-second penalty. And I think Pharrell Fury is also coming to the pits to probably sub his 5-second penalty. So that is 2 cars Campbell will probably clear at the end of all of this. He's going to be on... Well, in the points, everyone that... If they finish this race in this order, everyone will get points. It goes down to 15 in the F2 league. But Campbell actually comes out behind Nolan, so he didn't even jump Nolan. He jumped Pharrell Fury, but he's got some work to do, as we can see what tyres people are on. Yeah, everyone outside the top 10 on the mediums, and then inside the top 10, it's just Larkin and Rocco. So my question is, are they going to have the pace advantage on the mediums to make up that deficit to Nathan? Nathan was, what, in qualifying, probably a second, if not, well, second and a half faster than these two. I mean, he was a second faster than 4th place. So are they going to have the ability to actually overtake Nathan? Because his pace is just so much better than the whole of the field. I think he was he 6 tenths or 7 tenths faster than P2, and that was Campbell. Campbell down in 13th. He was 7 tenths faster than Verstappen. He's got so much pace. Yeah, I don't know if these guys can actually have the pace. Obviously, the tyre advantage, I don't know how big it is. It's probably not far off a second in these F2 cars. I think maybe one more lap under the safety car. So that leaves us with about 6 laps to go at the end of this. But yeah, Nathan's pace is just... This is critical for Nathan. If he can hold the lead off the start, he might just because of his pace around the lap, he might just be able to win this outright. Even though he's on the hard compound tyres. Nolan has come into the pits again, so Campbell does actually get ahead of him now. Campbell up to 12th. B. Morgan is another guy that has been... He's been completely saved by this safety car. Obviously the contact on lap 2, and then I think he spun again. He was pretty much dead last. And now he's right in the fold. He's actually ahead of Nolan. Nolan has pit back onto the hard compound tyres, so I don't know why that is. Yeah, that's a confusing one. Unless he broke his wing or something and he needed to change it, but that is confusing. He was having a very good start to this race, and then the safety car hasn't helped him at all. But they have to close up to the field now. They've got about 2 corners. I don't know if they're going to do it in time for the safety car to go in this lap. So we might actually have another lap under safety car. Nolan is a bit behind. Or the safety car could just decide it wants to go in this lap. He could just decide that, and we'll get going. But safety car looks like it's staying out for yet another lap. This is just maybe helping Larkin and Rocco, actually, because of the mediums. But it's really, really messing up Campbell. He needs as many laps as possible, and he's just not getting them. 5 laps to try and cut through the field. I think he may have done the wrong thing on this one. Gambled. And he's very far down the field. If this works out, it will be an absolute miracle, I would have thought. But yeah, we are getting one more lap into safety car. So at the end of lap 11, I would think that is going back into the pits. And Nathan will get us underway. He's very extreme weaving right behind that safety car. So the hard compound tyres are not known for their temperature. Keeping temperature in them is very difficult, especially when you have 2 cars without the tyre blankets. They come out the pits stone cold, so it is extremely difficult to get the temperature into them. And we will have a look. Nolan is slowly getting to the back of the field. I think he will be right at the back of this field come the start of sector 2 for him anyway, or maybe a couple corners after that. And we should be able to get this going again at the end of this lap. But everything's just falling into Nathan's lap at this point. Early in the championship, it doesn't look like it's going anywhere. His pace is just mega around this track. And there we go. Nolan is on the back of the field. And I think the safety car will decide in a couple corners' time that it wants to go back in. Well, the FAA and the stewards will decide it's time for it to come back into the pits as the whole field is together. And there looks to be no debris left on track. It's all been cleared up. And the safety car has decided it is coming in this lap. So we will get underway as we get to the line. No overtaking before the finish line. That rule's been in place for a couple years now. It used to be the was it the safety car line, safety car 2 line, I think, which is that line. Is it that line there, or is the line at the end of the pits? I cannot remember. But it is now the finish line as Nathan is doing some good weaving. Has he gone out the final corner? No, he's not. This could cause some incidents. He's not decided to go yet. Let's go on board with him. And he goes now. Has Larkin got the jump? He kind of goes with him, but not enough. We are back to green flag racing. And we have Verstappen right on the back of Rocco. And is that Calvin looking around the outside of Verstappen? They hold position so far into turn 1. Calvin's not going to get a run on Verstappen through turn 2. At the front, they've all held. Campbell up to 11th, up to 10th now, Campbell. Very decent start after the restart, after the safety car for him. He's got some work to do, but he is making quick inroads on that. Can he get another position straight away? He is. He's up to 9th, side by side with Lars. And you get the feeling, no, Lars is going to hang it all the way around the outside, but surely he's going to go wide. And Campbell goes round the outside and gets that position. Jordan now in front of his team. And nothing happened at the front, but Larkin is staying with Nathan early on as Jordan lets Campbell through. So Campbell, perfect restart for Campbell. Already up 4 positions from that start. And now he has some work to do to get through. But if he can get back up to 5th here, that would be a magnificent result for the Scotsman. As Nathan holding P1, but these guys are not falling away. So Nathan's pace compared to the tyre difference, it's about even, really. It's pulling away a little bit, but some part of me thinks that might be to do with the dirty air. He's really defending, so he actually must be a bit worried about this tyre difference as the yellow flags in sector 3. The 2 Carlin cars around. Now, if they've come into contact, that would be the second time in this race, and that's not very good. As a team, I would not be wanting that. As Campbell now on the back of Zerdemer, is he going to have a look into turn one? I think he's going to have more than a look. I think he's going to go straight up the inside of Zerdemer. And he gets P7, so Campbell straight up. 1 lap into the safety car, he's up 5 positions. Well, 1 lap after the safety car. He's got another, he's got this lap plus another 3. As Lars now comes into the pit, so he's damage on his end. Larkin is right behind. And they're yet to have DRS, so is that the slipstream, or has Nathan made a little error? But he's right on the back of him now. Just think this might not go the way it was planned. This race seemed like a dominant victory for Nathan, and Larkin is right back in the mix. Rocco's still there, but Larkin's got a real chance. Once the DRS opens, if he can get ahead and clear him, that is a real opportunity for Larkin to really pull this win from nowhere. Started 7th on the grid, had a great first stint to get back up, but you just thought the gap was going to be too big, and now he's right in the driver's seat, actually. He's got to get past Nathan, which is no easy feat, but with the DRS round here, it's not particularly difficult. As B. Morgan gets his way back up to P9, he looked completely out of it before the safety car. He's now up to 9th position, so really good job from him. As Campbell and Eisen are side by side. There's no DRS down the pit straight this time around, but Campbell is going to get this move done, is he? Yep, Eisen gives him the corner. He's going to come back at him down the pit straight, I would think. As the leaders, as Larkin does the fastest lap of the race. Larkin not there yet, but he should have DRS this time around, as Eisen is going to come back at Campbell. Campbell goes to the inside. Got to defend this position, but he's going to get... Eisen's going to get DRS down to turn 4 as the leaders maintain position even with the DRS. Larkin not close enough as of yet, but Eisen's got the DRS and he can't get it done. So Campbell up another position. He's got to get that second gap down to Calvin, but he's making the progress. Verstappen can't stay with the leaders, so has Campbell got enough laps to think about fourth place? I don't know. But he could well be in for a 5th here if he can get close enough to Calvin, sorry, as they break down into turn 10, these leaders. Larkin still following Nathan quite closely, but Rocco, the gap's Rocco's got himself more involved now, as Nola makes a move into the top 10. On the hard compound tyres, actually. Worn hard tyres. Which I think he used before the safety car. He changed them in the safety car to mediums and put them back on again. So Rocco has fallen back out of a second, or it's very close. He might drop out of a second. Campbell is nearly in the second. He is in the second of Calvin, so we've got to watch that, as Larkin now has the DRS, but not a great exit at the final corner, but he will get a very nice tow down to turn 1. DRS open. He'll probably be about 4 tenths back, I think, come turn 1. There's a lap car ahead. I think that's Lars. After he's been in the pits, Larkin just not close enough that time into turn 1. Not a great exit out of the final corner. As Campbell now on the back of Calvin. There's a yellow flag, and that is Lars, I think, letting people through. No overtaking in this sector, so that means anything Campbell wanted to do down to turn 4, he's not going to be able to do it. I think he's going to run out of laps to try and get 4th place, but he's going to do a very good job here if he can get Calvin. And obviously he's got the tyre advantage. Rocco has dropped outside of a second now, but Larkin still right on the back of Nathan. With 1 lap after this, that is still Lars letting people through. 1 lap after this. Oh, Larkin's gone deep. Larkin's gone very, very deep. That might be his chance of a victory over. And he's fallen well without a second now. That might be it. I might have spoken too soon. He got on the curb at on the entry to turn 10. And just couldn't get it slowed down in time. And now he's fallen well behind Nathan, out of DRS range. He needed to probably be about 3-4 tenths behind coming onto the pit straight. And he's now 1.4 behind. And actually, he's going to have to watch out behind, because Rocco is right on the back of him now, as Calvin picks up a 3-second penalty with Campbell right behind him. you get the feeling Campbell is going to get this position. See if he can get any further, but I don't think he's going to get further than 5th in this race without a penalty. Coming the way of some of the guys at the front as he makes that move. Here's Rocco on Larkin. Larkin obviously making that mistake last time around in turn 10. And he's gone very defensive to the inside. Rocco's going to cut right back, try and go around the outside. He's not going to get that run, surely. He's off the track again. Larkin holds that, but as they go down to turn 4, is he going to have a look? He's going to send it around the outside, but he can't get it on the brakes. Larkin holds it, and he's going to go. Oh, they've made contact. And Rocco has to sit behind for now. Campbell did get past Calvin, but there's a 2.4 second gap in front of him, and that is not going to get extended. Larkin is now 2.5 seconds behind Nathan, so that Nathan has got away with one here. The safety car nearly cost him, but he's got away with it. Larkin, a little error into that corner just there last time around, and it has made Nathan's life a bit easier on this final lap. Larkin is still closing, but it's not going to be enough. And Calvin's actually still on the back of Campbell, but with a penalty, I think he's just going to hold position at this point. Nothing to really fight for in his case, as Verstappen's now on the back of this battle. As we go final corner coming up, these guys are still battling for second on the track. Rocco can't get a move done into the final corner. Is he going to be able to do anything out of the final corner? I don't think he is, as Nathan wins the feature race in Bahrain. Yet another win for Nathan this year. Very good job from him. And that's his 3rd win of the season, his 3rd feature race win in 4 rounds. And that one did come under threat from Larkin, but that little error from Larkin cost him in the end. I thought he had a very good chance had he not made that mistake, but he still holds on to second. Very good race from him after coming from 7th. Rocco gets on the podium from 10th. Verstappen finishes 4th. And Campbell, really, the safety car strategy didn't really work for him, but he still managed to get into 5th position after starting the safety car restart in 12th, I think. So very good recovery drive from after that. But there we have it for the feature race. And another Nathan victory. Not a surprise at this point. His pace in qualifying just made it very easy to see how the race was going to go. Obviously, the safety car threw up the surprise, but it still ended in a Nathan victory from pole position. With the fastest lap, actually, that he stole back from Larkin. Managed to steal that fastest lap back. Larkin in 2nd. Very good race from him. Rocco 3rd. Verstappen 4th. And Campbell 5th. Eisen, a very good race from 14th up to 6th. Calvin finishes 7th in the end. Just drops back on that penalty at the end. B. Morgan recovers to 8th after that early incident on lap 2. Zudermer in 9th holds position. Nolan loses a few positions after that through that safety car, but managed to get quite a few positions back after the restart. And that's your top 10. Darry, Jordan, Farrell Fury, James Head, and Lars finish off the points, with the only retiree being Sir Ibo in the Trident, who caused the safety car. So, as we get ready for the sprint race, who was 8th? It was B. Morgan. So B. Morgan's recovery drive after having that incident has managed to get him reverse grid pole. So actually, even better than I thought, that recovery drive. Very unfortunate with that he had the pace. He was 4th on the grid, and now he starts from 1st. Campbell being 5th starts from 4th, so he's got a good chance. Verstappen is going to be 5th on the grid. Nathan in 8th. We'll have to see. They're all going to be on the hard tyres. Who else was there? Calvin's going to be on. I think Calvin's 2nd on the grid for this, and Eisen will be 3rd. So it'll be. Sorry. Oh, Jesus. It will be B. Morgan on pole. Calvin second, Eisen third, Campbell fourth, Verstappen in fifth, Rocco in sixth, Larkin in seventh, Nathan in eighth, and then the finishing order after that: Soderman ninth, Nolan 10th, Dari in 11th, Jordan 12th, Farrah Fury 13th, James in 14th, Lars 15th, Ibo in 16th, and we have the two, they're actually Campos drivers, Dirtim and Alex. Alex is actually in the Campos, Dirtim is put him in the Dams, so they are technically teammates, but Dirtim is in the Dams for this one, because they did not get into the session in time to start the previous race. So they will start from the back at this one. So yeah, there we go. B. Morgan is going to start from pole position. 12 laps of the circuit. Already one race in the bag. And you just think about Nathan's pace that he showed since qualifying. He could potentially manage to get all the way through the field and win yet again. We'll have to wait and see on that one. But if he manages to do that, that would be quite ridiculous, to be honest. But his pace was just that strong. Obviously, on the different compounder tyres, Rocco and Larkin stuck with him. And actually, at the end, they stuck with him after the restart, but on the same compound tyres, are they going to be able to do that? The pace difference might just be a bit too much, but can he clear the cars in time to try and battle for the lead? Who knows? All we do know is B. Morgan starts on the front row with Calvin. So that penalty got Calvin a front row start. As they get round to the grid, those two at the back are a bit further back. But as they line up, just wait for them to get in the correct positions. These guys at the front will do that fairly quickly. But yeah, they're on the grid now. We'll just wait for the guys at the back to get in the right positions as they're lining up for the start of the sprint race, the second race here in Sakir, with B. Morgan on pole and Calvin alongside him in second, the championship leader in 8th, as we have the lights coming on now. 5 lights, and away we go for the second race, the sprint race. And actually, Calvin looked like he got a decent start there. Car going nearly into the wall there at the back. Calvin, decent start. He's looking up the inside of B. Morgan, and he just got caught out a little bit on that curbs. That's Eisen looking for it. But they hold position. Campbell has managed to hold off Rocco. Rocco made a decent start as well, past Verstappen. As they come down into turn 3, Campbell has that position. He's held that. But Larkin, he's trying to get past Verstappen. Nathan right behind those yellow flags. That's a spinner. That's Dirtim. Started in 17th. He's now right at the back as Larkin and Verstappen are side by side. Campbell's trying to get a move done on Eisen. He knows this could be an important one as Sir Ibo is now off the track. Campbell on the back of Eisen. If he can get this, he knows if he can get this move done, it will be quite important. But Rocco tried. I think he tried a move at the exit of that corner, and it's not paid off for him. Verstappen has a look, but he's not going to get that move done. He's actually gone very wide there, Verstappen. Larkin's going to have a look on the exit. This is holding up Nathan, actually, at the start. As Larkin's gone all the way around the outside. Is he going to be able to hold that? He's going to... Surely Verstappen's going to have him on the brakes. And there's contact with Nathan and Larkin. Just had to swerve slightly to avoid that, did Nathan. As B. Morgan and Calvin are side by side for the lead. They're side by side for third place, and Campbell gets into third. So this is what he needs. He needs to get through the field really early. As Nolan's having a look on the championship leader. Nathan, as I said before, getting caught up in all these battles with Larkin, Verstappen, and Rocco, and now it's kind of gone away from him. They're side by side yet again for the lead. Campbell's up the inside. They're 3 wide here. And Campbell's been spun round. He's been spun. There was so much contact there. Campbell's been spun. They decided to go 3 wide into turn 1. I don't know what happened there. B. Morgan has managed to come out and somehow Rocco leads this race. It was Calvin that lost but Campbell was a big loser there. Still ahead of Nathan, I think. As he's going to get past Calvin, I think, around the outside there. But Calvin has so much damage. But yeah, that was an important, really. I don't know why they decided to go 3 wide. The 2 cars could have battled it. I think it was Campbell and Calvin that was side by side. But I think B. Morgan was right on the outside. He stuck it in, kept it in, and they all met in the middle. And Campbell was actually Calvin was the biggest loser. He lost front wing. I don't know if Campbell's lost front wing, but Verstappen's having a send on Larkin into turn 13, and it doesn't pay off for him. Campbell is very squirrely now, but Rocco is just gone in the lead of this race. And Nathan's now on the back of Campbell, so this has really changed. One incident has changed the entire race. As they enter onto lap 3 now. B. Morgan is defending from Larkin. Verstappen's going to get involved. These guys are going to be 3 wide as well. As they go through turn 1. Campbell's in there as well. Nathan just behind. They're 3 wide. This is just horrifying to watch. You always think they're going to crash the amount of times they go through. They're side by side. But managed to get through as that's B. Morgan all the way around the outside of Larkin. He manages to hold on to 2nd place. Larkin cannot get past him, and Rocco must be loving this race. He's just going as there's a yellow flag. Is that Campbell? It's Campbell! Campbell round again. You thought this was set up for him after the first couple of laps, but he's spun round somewhere. And he's dropped another couple positions. I think he was 5th, so he's now down in 9th position, Campbell. This has just gone horrifically for him today. Good recovery in the first race, but the fact he needed to do it was just, yeah. And the safety car he pit, no one else did, and barely any of the front runners did, and he got caught out by that. He had to come back through the field. Nathan's still stuck behind this battle, and that is a big thing. But his championship rival, Campbell, was behind him. Verstappen's now behind him. As that is nearly a send from Nolan there. Nolan's getting involved. Something we didn't get to see much of towards what we would have loved to see towards the end of the last race. Nolan getting involved, but he was towards the back after pitting several times under the safety car. But here he is. As they drop down into turn 1. Is he going to go around the outside of Larkin? He's going to try. And he might actually be able to. Larkin's going to hold it around the outside. And he just holds it off. Verstappen has a penalty. Nathan now into 2nd. But he's going to get slipstreamed, is he? All the way down to turn 4. He manages to hold on to it. And Nathan has somehow got into 2nd place in this race. Nolan, side by side with Larkin still. He's not going to back out of that one. This could be close. They managed to get through unscathed. But Larkin's going to go straight back up the inside and make that position his. And I think, oh no, Nolan is still a wheel up the inside. And he's probably going to, Larkin's gone off the track. He's been, kind of had to go off the track there. Yellow flag on the pit straight. That is for Calvin retiring from this race. He started on the front row. But a contact has meant he is out of this race. Not really able to close the gap. He would have needed a safety car. And even with the incidents we're getting, it doesn't look like Codemasters want to bring it out for this one. As Campbell's having a look on Eisen, straight up the inside of turn 13. There is contact. But Campbell needs to get a move on now. As you can see, Nathan has pulled out a 1.5 second gap to B. Morgan already. B. Morgan was the 4th fastest car in qualifying. So it is ridiculous the amount of pace that Nathan has in this race. As Nolan is round. Don't know what happened there. He's round at the exit of the final corner. Maybe he went side by side with someone and it came off a lot worse. I don't know, but B Morgan is now down to 5th place. It's been overtaken by Verstappen and Larkin, and Campbell has finally made that move stick on Eisen as he's back up into 6th. But Nathan is closing that gap to Rocco. So Rocco would have been loving this before Campbell spun. But now Nathan is closing on him, so he's gonna have to be careful. Nathan will want that position back. Well, want that win again. Oh, there's a safety car. Safety car is out. Right, okay. And that was because Tim has crashed at the exit of turn 3. And we have a full course safety car. I can't see this being out for very long, actually. If that car gets cleared up, it could be 1 or 2 laps under the safety car. That is a spanner in the works for Rocco, and actually might help Campbell a bit. I don't know if I don't think any of these guys can pit now, because I think they might have used up all their tyres, their medium tyres, so I don't think there's any point in pitting. But someone might try it. But that really helps out Nathan. It doesn't help out Verstappen so much because he has that penalty, and you'll have to watch that. But we're gonna bring the field closer together again. We do have, I think it's Ibo towards the back, who is the last guy we're gonna have to wait for. But they're gonna get the safety car, and people have come into the pits. That is Verstappen and Morgan, B Morgan, who I don't know if they pit. I think B Morgan did have mediums at the end of the last race. Verstappen did not, so Verstappen might have his quali set still, as Campbell nearly loses it through turn 2. Verstappen might still have his quali set, but he will have to do a lot of work to get through the field. Probably about as many laps as we had left in the feature race. I think it will be the end of lap 7 when the safety car does decide it wants to come in. Which leaves us for about 5 laps. So I think it was either 4 laps or 5 laps in the feature race. And Campbell in a similar position to Verstappen. The pace was similar in qualifying. He went from about 12th, which is where Verstappen is now. He went from 12th to 5th. So I don't know if he's going to have enough laps really to close back up. He has got that penalty as well, so he's risking a lot here, Verstappen. Because I don't know if any other drivers are going to decide to come in on this lap. I don't know if they will at all, actually. So this has helped Campbell a little bit. He's back up to 4th. Obviously started in 4th, but Nathan's done a fantastic job just avoiding stuff at the start of this race. And I mean, this is why he's leading the championship. He has done a fantastic job of just being in the right place at the right time, if that means being at the front of the grid and starting on pole, or if that just means avoiding incidents when making your way back through. He's done a fantastic job so far this season, and he's in 2nd and looking good. If he can get past Rocco for probably his first double win, first track where he's won both races. He came 1st and 2nd at France. He came 1st and 3rd in Singapore. He's currently 2nd in this one. He won the first race. But if he wins this, he has done the double, as the safety car stays out for another lap. And I think it will be in this lap because the Tim's car is no longer there. And the cars at the back of the field are not far off closing right up to the pack. They might be... Well, it's B Morgan, and he might be on the pack by turn 4, I would have thought. Actually, B Morgan's come back into the pits, which puts a spanner in my theory. Spanner in the works, spanner in my theory. That is not a thing people say. I'm going to trademark that. Copyright it. No one can use it. It's mine. But I don't know why I just said spanner in my theory. It throws a spanner in the works for the safety car coming in this lap. There we go. Yeah, I don't know if he can close that gap up, actually. So the safety car might actually be out for yet another lap as he pit back onto hard compound tyres. Is this what's gone on? he has. So his mediums were too worn. That's what I thought would have happened with most of these guys. We'll watch B Morgan try and close back up to the safety car. I think the safety car... If the safety car comes in this lap, it's very harsh on B Morgan. But it's just the risk you take sometimes. Maybe you might even be on the hards he started last race on now. Or used last race. You can't have a look, that's the thing though. You can't have a look. Which is very annoying. I want that AWS data that tells me his tyres are on 10% left when they're probably going to do another 40 laps. So that's the kind of data I want. The safety car is not coming in this lap. So we are going to have to do another lap, which actually hurts for Verstappen. Oh no, the safety car is in this lap. It changed its mind. It's changed its mind. The safety car is coming in this lap. That has not helped B Morgan whatsoever. He's not going to be on the back of the field. He's about 2-3 corners behind. Maybe Rocco is nice, and maybe Rocco is going very slowly, so he might have a chance to get near the back of the field, and once they all start battling, he might be able to pull back. Is Rocco going to go before at the final corner? No, he's not. He's going to wait. And this is actually allowing B Morgan to catch right back up. And B Morgan will have temperature in his tyres, so... And Rocco's gone. A very long way down, and we are back to green flag racing. Farrah Fury is being caught out, and Rocco has nailed that restart as Eisen is side by side with Campbell. Campbell's going to get him on the brake, but yeah, that's really helped B Morgan. B Morgan is now only 2.5 seconds off the grid. When the safety guard said it was coming in, he was 25, so that's really helped. Oh, there's a car in the wall. That is a car straight into the wall. That is Dari. He is still in this race somehow. That just nosedived into the wall, but he keeps it. Somehow he's not lost the wheel as Campbell on the back of Larkin. Nathan on the back. Yeah, they're all on the back of each other. There's not really no movement really at the front. Farrell Fury lost a few positions. Just want to check. Yeah, tyres. Verstappen is already up to 9th, so that was similar to what Campbell did in the feature race. He managed to get a really good opening lap after the restart and got 4 positions on that one, and Verstappen is looking to get Zudamer, his fellow countryman, into turn 11, and he does so he's up 4 positions. And Nathan now right on the back of Rocco. He's not going to send it, but if Nathan goes clear, you just get the feeling he might run away with this one. We have 4 laps to the end as Nathan, they're going side by side. He's going to try and get it done into turn 1. Rocco's not going to give him that space though. And they all get very close. Larkin right in there. This top group are kind of pulling away from the rest. And this is some extreme weaving now from Rocco to try and stop these guys from going. They're all going to be right next to each other going into turn 1. As Nathan goes round the outside, is he going to be able to get this move done? No, they're right on the limit of the track, and Nathan spun, and Campbell's gone straight into the back of him. Campbell's straight into the back of him. Nathan spun around, but there's a massive chunk of front wings come off the UNI Virtuosi, and that might be Campbell. Yeah, Campbell's letting people through. He knows his race is run. He just can't do anything with that front wing. And it's Rocco's hard defence. Nathan kind of fell for it in a way. He kept his nose up the inside. Didn't want to back out. And, I mean, at that point, you're playing at Rocco's terms. However aggressive it wants to be. And he came off worse. So Rocco now keeps the lead of this race from Larkin. It's now over a second. Larkin had to avoid that. He did quite well to avoid that. I will say something. What annoys me about that is, I don't know if ghosting's on, but if ghosting is on, he should have ghosted there. And Campbell should have been fine. Obviously, it's realistic if it doesn't ghost, but you just feel bad for Campbell because he wasn't involved with that at all. And he's the one that actually pays the biggest price because Nathan's only falling down to 7th, really. He's not, compared to Campbell, Campbell's got no front wing. He's had to pit. Has he pit? No, he hasn't pit. He's going to have to pit, though. I would have thought. That's just undrivable. I know he's going to stay out, but he's gonna just bleed. He's not going to be able to keep up with these guys. So he's the real big loser as Nathan goes up the inside for P6. And yeah, Nathan trying to get back through the field. That Farrell Fury's done. I talked about Farrell Fury going very, very like on the restart. These three have done fantastically to clear that. Eisen, I didn't even notice. Sorry about that. Larkin's still there, obviously, but Eisen has jumped up onto the podium currently. James is 4th, and Farrell Fury, we talked about losing places at the start of that restart. He's still in 5th, so that's just that one incident has gained them massively. Obviously, if Farrell Fury hadn't lost those positions, he would currently be 3rd. Both of them guys I think both of those guys got past him. Well, maybe Eisen was still ahead. I'm not sure. James definitely got past on the restart. I'm 99% sure of that. But Nathan is now closing in, so Nathan might have enough laps to actually get back onto the podium. We'll have to wait and see. Larkin has managed to put himself into DRS zone, has he? I think they're all on default setups. Can Larkin get close? He's losing time in a straight line, so I don't know what's going on there. Maybe he's good under the brakes, but he just in a straight line and the exits are corners. He can't get the run. And he does not have DRS yet again. Nathan on the back of Farrell Fury now. He's going to try and have a go, surely, into turn 1. Is he going to dive it to the inside? Yes, he is. Is he late enough on the brakes? Yes, he is. Farrell Fury is going to hang it around the outside. And Nathan's going to have to give him the space. Oh, and there's a bit of contact. But Nathan is slightly ahead. I think Nathan might get this one on the brakes. Is he going to get this down into turn 4? He does, and Farrell Fury cannot fight back on that one. So that is Nathan back into 5th place. But that is a few more corners than Nathan would have liked to fight that battle. He has a lap and a half to try and get back into 3rd, as Larkin is now probably in that DRS range. And the detection point is there, so we will have DRS coming down into turn 11. And if that, I don't know if it will make a big difference on this straight, but he got a nice exit compared to Rocco. Can he have a chance? This is his chance to make up for his mistake in the last race, where he looked on to get past Nathan and win that race. He just made a small mistake into turn 10, lost a lot of time, and I think finished in the end 2nd ahead. I think he just finished ahead of Rocco. As James picks up a penalty, that's not good for him as the field is close together. He's driven superbly to put himself in this position. I think he might be close to losing that. Nathan is right on the back of him, but he's not far off Eisen either, as these two have really pulled away. But obviously Rocco, extreme defence last time he was side by side with someone into turn 1. Is he going to be that extreme this time? I don't think Larkin's going to be close enough. No, he's not. But there is another DRS zone coming straight up after this. If he can get a good run out of here, Larkin, he might have a chance, but I don't know. I think he's a bit too far back. So, he's a lot closer this lap than last lap. Can he stay this close, though? As Nathan has managed to get himself into P3, but Eisen and James are battling for P4. So James stays behind Eisen, but that was a battle I did not see coming, as Larkin is so close to Rocco now. On the final lap of this, you think Rocco's going to give it everything, but where can Larkin get past? He's gone on that curb again. It's the same thing he did in the last race, but he is right behind Rocco now. Rocco's got to be defensive into this corner. He's got to go defensive, because Larkin will send it otherwise. Larkin's going to go for it on the brakes. Rocco's good on the brakes as well. And Lars is out the session. Larkin has managed to get around him. Rocco's just not going to give him the space on the outside, is he? As they go through turn 13, they're still side by side, and Larkin gets pushed off the road. I think he's done that just to avoid a warning, which I think is completely fair. Because he was the one that got pushed off. Does he go for a switchback here? No, he's going to go all the way around the outside. He's going to make Rocco have to take the inside. And he's off the track again. But he is going to cross the line in first place. Wow, Larkin actually wins that. And Nathan takes the fastest lap points. James dropped to 8th in the end, but still a good race. Farrell Fury finishes 4th. I don't know what Farrell Fury's best race result in the whole of his time in Division 1. Obviously, he was a front runner in his season in Division 2 last year. But I don't know what his best result is in last season Division 1, this season Division 1. But that might be it. And that is a very good drive from Farrell Fury. After I said he had a really bad restart, he's managed to put himself right back in contention and get 4th place. I think there will be discussions about how Larkin won that race, but I'm not sure how it's going to go down, because I think it was 50-50. Larkin was going to the outside, going off the track, but I think he was being put off the track at the same time. I don't think he had any other place to go other than back out, and considering they're side by side, I think that'll be an interesting one. It's not for me to decide, but it'll be a very interesting debate, I think. But there we have it. Larkin wins the feature race, the sprint race. So Nathan could not get both wins in the end, as he had his spin with Rocco. But might have still extended his championship lead, because his main championship rival, Campbell, was behind him. Verstappen was behind him. Well, Verstappen was behind Campbell. So Verstappen might have had an incident towards the end. He couldn't done anything after. Well, couldn't do anything after that safety car. There we have it. Larkin wins the race from Rocco. An epic battle on the final lap. Nathan in 3rd. So he keeps up his podium streak. He has had a podium at every single race so far this season. Farrell Fury in 4th, hell of a drive from him. B. Morgan in 5th. Yeah. Did he pit? Yeah, he pit twice, so that's a hell of a drive to get back there. Sinema in 6th, Ayers in 7th, James 8th, Jordan in 9th, Alex 10th, Campbell 11th in the end, big shame for him. Verstappen in 12th, Dari 13th. Ibbo's 14th, Lars in 15th, final point scorer. And there in the retirees, we have Tim, Nolan, and Calvin, who started in the front row, which is unfortunate for him. There we have it, ladies and gents. Absolute cracker yet again. F2 never disappoints. These guys never fail to live up to the hype. And I said, Bahrain always brings a good race, a good couple of races, and it did today. It did not disappoint whatsoever. That being said, I'm pretty sure Nathan extended his championship lead as we go to Zandvoort, the Netherlands, next Monday. And that'll be an interesting one for completely different reasons for today. Bahrain is very easy to overtake. Zandvoort is not, so it's going to be a very interesting one to see how that plays out and strategy and stuff like that. Whilst I'm here, the F1 side on Friday and Saturday this week, we are going to Marina Bay, Singapore. And I think it's 8 o'clock Friday, and then 6:30 for some divisions on Saturday, and 8 o'clock for the other divisions on Saturday night. And then I don't know what else there is this week, but that will be it from me. Thoroughly enjoyed this one yet again, and I can't wait for next week. Hope to see as many of you guys here for that one as well, because it will be an absolute cracker yet again. With these guys, it's guaranteed. So until next time, guys, I will see you then.